I could inform the House. Just let me finish. I could inform the House that there is a precedent for an official opposition spokesperson being called second in the debate. I'm moving amendment before. No, we're not. Or does somebody want to lead? I'm determined to finish. Before a minister was called to speak in the debate in the circumstances. However, no government amendment has been tabled. I should also inform that the Clerk of the House will be placing in the library a letter to me about today's proceedings. I have asked for that letter to be made available in the Vote Office as soon as possible. Finally, I should tell the House that, in my opinion, the operation of Standing Order No. 31, which governs the way amendments to the Opposition Day motions are dealt with, reflects an outdated approach which restricts order. You'll be going and not be voting. Well, that's the first one to leave then. If you want to, do it. Now then. Firstly, I should tell the House, in my opinion, the operation of Standing Order, which governs the way amendments to opposition motions are dealt with, reflects an outdated approach, which restricts the operations which can put the House. It is my intention to ask the Procedure Committee to consider the operation. I now call Brendan O'Hara to move the motion. Point of order.
I appreciate what you've outlined here, but I seek your advice because obviously I've taken advice from the clerks. This is the SNP's opposition day. Yep. And the purpose of an opposition day is for our party to have the ability to put forward our business. We've already had a significant delay to the start of this motion, which has significant interest to the extent we dropped our second motion, and now we're completely appear to be doing things in a way that's never been done before. Can I ask for your advice, Mr. Speaker, what is the point of an opposition day if it's going to be done like this? And
then, can I just say, I think you will want to vote at some point. Clapping isn't going to assist it. A point of order has been raised by the SNP Chief Whip. As I say, I've made a judgment on a precedent that's been done before. I have viewed it as that is my ruling, and I'm going to stand by the ruling, and I'm not taking any more point of order.
We all have obligations in this place to ensure that all views can be expressed and that individual members and parties of all colours and sizes can have their say. As a member of the government benches, sometimes that is difficult on opposition day debates. Motions are always deliberately confected to try and engineer the greatest possible backlash against members. But we, on this side of the House, have never asked that the procedures of this House be upturned in order to mitigate against such pressures. Even when we have faced extreme abuse. Mr. Speaker has stated in the decision that he has taken today, and that he is entitled to take, that he wished for all propositions on the order paper to be put to the House. However, this decision has raised temperatures in this House on an issue where feelings are already running high, and it has put honourable and right honourable members in a more difficult position. It also appears from the advice of his clerk that the decision is taken against the long-standing and established processes and procedures of this House, and that the consequences may be that government is not able to respond to Opposition Day motions, and as such, the government does not have confidence that it will be able to vote on its own motion. For that reason, the government will play no further part in the decision this House takes on today's proceedings. I would like to stress that the government's position on Israel and Gaza remains unchanged, as my right honourable friend, the Prime Minister, outlined today. We want to see the fighting in Gaza end as soon as possible. We never again want to see Hamas carry out the appalling terrorist attacks that Israel was subject to. And we know that just calling for an immediate ceasefire now, which collapses back into fighting within days or weeks, is not in anyone's interests. We will be reiterating the government's position via a written ministerial statement. I fear that this most grave matter that we are discussing today and this afternoon has become a political row within the Labour Party, and that
I want to hear the point of order. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And that, regrettably, Mr. Speaker has inserted himself into that row with today's decision and undermined the confidence of this House in being able to rely on its long-established standing orders to govern its debates. Long-established conventions that should not be impaired by the current view of a weak leader of the opposition and a divided party. I would ask, Madam Deputy Speaker, I would ask that the Speaker take the opportunity to reassure all honourable and right honourable members that their Speaker, our Speaker, will not seek to undermine those rights in order to protect the interests of particular members, and that future Opposition Day debates will not be hijacked in this way. And I say this, Madam Deputy Speaker, for the benefit of all members.
Let me just confirm again that if the government doesn't move its amendment, the other amendments and the main question will be taken. I just think Stephen Flynn, point of order.
Madam Deputy Speaker, may I firstly begin my point of order by just re-emphasising that we are all here tonight to vote on the civilian deaths in Gaza and the appalling situation that has been faced by nationals in Israel too. We all must remember that. Madam Deputy Speaker, if I have listened correctly to what has just been said, on SNP Opposition Day, should the Labour Party's motion be carried, then the SNP's vote will not be held. Secondly, if I have read the clerk's letter to all members correctly, which was sent to the Speaker, this was a consequence that he was warned of. So can you please advise me, where on earth is the Speaker of the House of Commons? How do we bring him to that seat to explain? How do we bring him to this House now to explain to the Scottish National Party why our views and our votes in this House are irrelevant to him? Madam Deputy Speaker, follow to my earlier remarks and on the back of the remarks which have been made there. I'm afraid that you did not provide clarity to me in relation to, one, where the Speaker of the House of Commons is. Secondly, what mechanisms are available to members to bring him to this House to explain that the SNP Opposition Day has turned into a Labour Opposition Day. And thirdly, and most importantly, I must insist to you, Madam Deputy Speaker, that the SNP motion is voted on first, as the Chair of the Procedure Committee has just outlined.
Point of order, Stephen Flynn.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm afraid that I am going to have to try for a third time. Can you please advise me where the Speaker of the House of Commons is, what mechanisms are available to bring him to this House, and as we wait for a deliberation to be made in that regard, I move that this House, you use the powers that I trust you have to suspend this House until the Speaker is brought to that.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I would just say gently to some honourable members opposite who have said that you cannot possibly have an opposition day motion being amended by another opposition party, that some of the members who are shouting the loudest
run this like a CLP meeting. That is unacceptable.
Sir Chris Bryant.
No, it's the CLP.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I would just remind some of those who have been shouting the loudest on the other side of the House that they personally voted on the 13th of May 1999 for a Conservative opposition motion amending a Liberal Democrat motion on an opposition day.
I wish to respond to the point of order raised by the leader. I wish to respond to the point raised by the Leader of the House. Today's debate was exceptional in its intensity with which all parties wished to secure a vote on their own propositions. It took the decisions which were intended to allow the House the widest range of propositions widest range of propositions on which to express a view. I wanted to do the best, and it was my wish. It was my wish to do the best by every member of this House. I take very seriously. No. The danger is that that's why I wanted everybody to be able to express, because I am very, very concerned about the security of all members. Let me just take this through. I was very concerned, I am still concerned, and that's why the meetings I've had today is about the security of members, their families, and the people that are involved. And I've got to say, I regret how it's ended up. It was not my intention. I wanted all to ensure they could express their views and all sides of the House could vote. As it was, in particular, the SNP were ultimately unable to vote on their proposition. I am, and I regret, with my sadness, that it's ended up like that, in this position. That was never my intention for it to end up like this. I was absolutely convinced that the decision was done with the right intentions. I recognise the strength of feeling of members on this issue. Clear today has not shown the House at its best. I will reflect on my part in that of the course I recommit myself to ensuring that all members of this House are treated fairly. I do not want it to have ended like this. I want to say to the House, I will meet with all the key players of each party. I think it is right that I meet with each one, and that. Can I just put that correct? I've never met with Sue Gray today. I didn't bump into her today. I'm offended by that comment. I think you'd like to withdraw it. Yeah, because that is the danger that we've ended up with this House in speculation of not what is fact and not factual. I am honest to this House. I am true to this House. I believe in all members of this House. And I've tried to do what I thought was the right thing for all sides of this House. It is regrettable, and I apologise for a decision that didn't end up in the place that I wished for. So I would say no. I say no. I will meet with all the. Just be quiet, please. I will meet with the leaders and with the chief whips, and let us have a discussion on what is the best way forward to try and ensure that, and I say again, I thought I was doing the right thing and the best thing, and I regret it and I apologise for how it's ended up. I do take responsibility for my actions, and that's why I want to meet. And that's why I want to meet with the key players who have been involved. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for coming to the House, for saying that you will reflect on what has happened today, for offering your apologies and to meet with members of this House. You're our Speaker, and we wish you to defend the rights of all members of this House. And I thank you for recommitting yourself to those responsibilities today and for coming to the floor of the House.
Just to respond to that, that is why I tried to do that in the first place. It ended up in the wrong place. And I do say I apologise to all, and in particular to the SNP. And I say it's not where I wanted, it is where I am. I will now leave it at that for the moment, but I do want to meet as soon as possible. Point of order, Stephen Flynn.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Can I firstly begin by echoing your sentiments in relation to the debate that was had in this chamber in relation to the most important of matters with regards to the safety of civilians in Gaza and indeed those in Israel. There has been a difference of view in the House today, but I think that difference of view has been expressed in a way which we can all agree has been in a positive fashion, in the best fitting way of any democracy, any functioning democracy. Mr. Speaker, whilst I acknowledge your apology, the reality is that you were warned by the clerks of the House that your decision could lead to the SNP not having a vote on our very own opposition day. As a result, we have seen the SNP opposition day turn into a Labour Party opposition day. I'm afraid that that is treating myself and my colleagues in the Scottish National Party with complete and utter contempt. And I will take significant convincing that your position is not now intolerable.
To respond to that, and quite rightly, I understand the feeling. As I said, I would like to have that conversation in private. I would like to meet with you as soon as possible. I'm now going to leave it to continue. Sorry. Point of order. No, come.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I just make a point of order that actually the amendment in the name of the Leader of the Opposition was this evening passed unanimously, and therefore, yes, it was, and therefore.
Order. I don't think now is the time, and what I want to do, I want to move on and I want to meet with the important players. I'm now going to hand over to the Deputy, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Deputy Speaker.